What's up guys, welcome back to Sit On Sports, and today we are starting our road to Avengers Endgame. Probably the biggest superhero movie that's coming out ever, in my opinion. Just the sheer hype that's surrounded not just the past 6 months, but also the past year actually. But also of course all the movies leading up to this. Thanos' cameo at the end of the Avengers movie. It really has all led up to this. I think what's been said has already been said, so there's no point dwelling on that. But of course this video is not entirely focused on Avengers Endgame. We're just under 2 weeks until the release. So to celebrate, I'm doing videos centered around the Marvel Cinematic Universe and reviews, discussion, speculation, as well as of course the Shazam review, which I should be watching soon and getting that to you as soon as possible. So like, comment, subscribe, share for all future reviews and stuff like that. Of course I've done reviews for Aquaman, Venom, so check that out, I'd really appreciate it. And leave a comment down below. I really appreciate the support on the last video, the Joker reaction. I love the DC and Marvel movie, just everything that's going on. There's no point picking one side to the fight, and I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to keep it civil down in the comments or just anywhere, but it's always going to be hard on the internet. Today I'll be talking about Captain Marvel. Of course that had a lot of controversy in terms of political awareness and stuff like that, but that was pretty much outside the movie. Inside the actual storyline of the movie, there wasn't really much of that. Today I'll be actually doing a discussion per se. I like kind of discussion format for these reviews for Captain Marvel. I should have done this ages ago. I actually watched this, I think, after the first week of its release. I should have really got to you sooner about this movie, but better late than never, eh? So yeah, I'll be doing this Captain Marvel discussion now. In a couple of days I'll be doing hopefully a Punisher TV review. I know that's not really Marvel Cinematic Universe, but that's another review I've been dying to get across. But also I'll be doing an Ant-Man first impression, because I never actually watched that movie in full, and sorry guys, but of course I know that will probably be very important to what happens, of course, especially with Ant-Man having a bigger role and other energies that are surrounding the plan to stop Thanos. But as a special little treat, just before the Endgame review and the reaction, I'll be doing an Infinity War movie rewatch and just giving you my review of that, because of course I made this channel after that movie came out. A special movie came out. But yeah, let's just get on with it. Captain Marvel, was it good enough? Was it? That's the question, isn't it? Like, it's been 1 month, it came out pretty close to Avengers Endgame, so we got Captain Marvel and quickly we got Avengers Endgame. But of course in terms of box office, I think that worked well. $1 billion, that says it all. I think that tells you the marketing the marketing strategy is just speechless to behold, because Marvel have done such a good job now. People want to sit down for every movie, even if it's not as important. They think it's important. They think each one is leading to the next one, and that's what Marvel Studios have done so well. But of course, it's not essential to make a movie great. You have to remember that. Of course, each movie has to be its own. Shouldn't rely on other movies to be good, and that's the criticism this movie does face. Maybe not to the extent that other people could be saying, it relies too much on the MCU. Naturally it will, because it's a prequel to everything that's happened, apart from Captain America, which is of course the original first Avenger. But Carol Danvers is the person who coins the word Avenger, and I remember watching that in the theatre, and people really dug that little connection. Well, especially in my theatre at least. Of course, you might seem a bit just on the nose. You'd be like, okay, we get it, but it worked, and at this point, Marvel are banking that it's their own fans watching the movie. To the casual fan, they might be like, okay, sure, but really, who's really not checked out most of the movies at this point? Let's talk about Carol Danvers, played by Brie Larson. I think she is great casting. I don't think she doesn't look out of place whatsoever. She looks like she's gonna fit in well with everyone, not just the people in the 90s. Does she fit in well with the rest of the cast in this movie, but also, of course, the Avengers cast later to come. But I think there is room for improvement in the sense that, not in terms of her acting ability, but actually just her overall character background. Because at the start of the movie, they do this, okay, she comes together with her group of Kree, really quick introducing who she's with, and we sort of have to suggest for ourselves that, oh yeah, she's been here for quite a bit. I don't know. It goes really fast. It goes a bit too fast for my liking. I know they're not really pivotal to the story, but if they're really pivotal to her background, then even though of course she lost all her memories on Earth, she's gained all these memories in space, and I think we should be able to feel that more. But we don't really. All we have is like one funny line by, of course, that Kree who was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, I laugh on the inside, ha ha ha. I expect to see more of him. He's not really in the movie after that. Of course, his mentor, played by Jude Law, I think. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, he's a great actor. You can already tell. And you see flashes of his fighting scenes, and it goes back to the end when he asks for another fight with Captain Marvel. But of course, Captain Marvel denies him. He's like, forget that. You're not worth the fight. But I actually really dug that sentiment. But it was kind of ruined by the fact that, oh, it's just a funny joke. And, oh, yeah, she... But I like the fact she doesn't give a crap anymore, but... like that Jude Law, they could have had that fight, that more emotional connection, but I think the reason they didn't fight, the writers didn't actually make them fight, because I think they were considering making them fight in the desert at the end, but I think the reason is because they didn't actually develop the relationship that much in reality, so it was like, you might as well just make it a joke at the end, by the end. But if they had developed that relationship more at the start of the movie, then maybe that end sequence could have been much more developed and fleshed out. Because I feel like the end sequence was really just a light show, in my opinion, in great honesty. Looking back, of course, in the movie you can laugh and joke, but when you look back, is it really going to stay in your mind? Is it just going to really make an impact here? No. But it doesn't always have to be like that. Not every movie has to be like, oh, it's some amazing thing that's going to fill your heart for the rest of the years to come. Of course not. Of course not. But there has to be some depth, and there was depth to some extent, I guess, especially with the Skrulls and their character. I like that sort of thing, and something that can develop over good movies. I felt like Kevin Feige, or like directors and the writers, were like, we need something to spice up this movie, and that Skrull twist, it turns out that they are actually good guys, was really well done, and it really played into the 90s theme. Of course, that joke where Talos is like, oh, he's drinking that Pulp Fiction drink, basically, and he's like, the computer's taking ages to load and they need it for like whatever they're going to do next, and that's really cool. But that was after he's got his family to look after up in the station up there. I like that sequence with the cat and the squid. I really like Goose the cat. I think they did before the movie, our cinema chain actually did like a challenge, sponsored by Captain Marvel, the movie, before it actually came on. Before the actual movie came onto screen, it was like, oh, like a Where's Wally thing, like find the cat out of this picture. I really set up the connection with the cat, and in some cases, I think you could say the cat has more character than some other characters in the movie. Yeah, but there's nothing wrong, I guess. The Goose the cat is, hopefully she stays. Hopefully she survives the 20 years after the 90s, and hopefully she meets Captain Marvel again. Maybe in Endgame. Who knows? Unless she's been dusted by Thanos. Don't know about that. What's the time? 8 minutes. Bloody hell. There wasn't really any feminist talk during this movie. There was good, just enough about good. It's a very touchy subject. I don't want to piss people off. But no, it didn't really shove feminism in your face. But I did well in inspiring young girls. Of course, with that. What's her name? All I can remember is the best friend's second name, Monica Rambeau, I think, something like that. Yeah, Monica Rambeau. I think she's the best friend of Carol. They don't really show. You get shown the flashbacks, like as you see in the trailer. That's pretty much what you get in the movie, which is not really that good in honesty. But they just tell you more, like, but she's a good actor, and you can tell she was a good actor. But she was just saying, oh, you're the most powerful woman, Carol. But just show us how powerful she was before she was Captain Marvel. All we saw was just quick glimpses and one little misogynistic comment by a pilot. Like, we need more than that. And to be fair, it did actually throw off in a good way, other people, I think, in the movie, including my older sibling, who was like, oh crap, this is not how superhero movies are usually done. Oh, they usually do flashbacks throughout the movie, or no flashbacks at all. They just do a chronological order. No, but that was cool. Cal gets trapped by the skulls. They're trying to poke her body, see if it does anything. That was good. But yeah, they get all the memories from that at the start. And I also like the trippy nature of the Great Intelligence. Not the Great Intelligence, that's from Doctor Who. The Supreme Intelligence, yeah. I like that actor there. I think she's a veteran actor. I forgot who she was, but she ended up being the original Captain Marvel. And that was really cool. Of course, in this universe of aliens and monsters, there's got to be some undercover aliens in Earth for a bit, especially working for a top secret SHIELD operation. That's really ironic how SHIELD have been, like, they learn about aliens but they don't realise that they have one in their midst as they're studying the tech. Of course, one studies tech for their own gain to help the Skrull defeat the Kree. Of course, the Kree are revealed to be evil, but of course people who would have seen Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that would be like already suspicious, but definitely not suspicious of the talent. I think we all assumed that Skrulls and Kree were both kind of dicks, to be honest, but it looks like Skrulls are being shown in a more positive light than the Kree. But hopefully they show more developed, maybe in other cosmic level Marvel movies. It's not just Guardians of the Galaxy, we have Eternals coming up as well. That maybe the Kree, there's some good Kree, some bad Kree, there's some good Skrulls, some bad Skrulls. As of course, some people were disappointed online that they made the Skrulls bad. But that doesn't mean there aren't bad Skrulls who can lead off to other storylines for the Avengers, such as Secret Invasion. Such that apparently that's a good storyline that they could follow in Phase 4 or beyond. Nick Fury, yeah, let's talk about Nick Fury in this movie. I think it was cool seeing him like act really different to. This is before he's been hardened by all the stuff in between Captain Marvel and Iron Man. I actually want to see like the time frame between that, because I think that's really when the real character growth actually happens. I think in this movie he's just not one-dimensional, but yeah, he is kind of one-dimensional, but the dimension's good. Samuel Jackson is a good actor. They did a really good job de-aging him, but not so much on Phil Coulson. But it's cool to see Phil Coulson back. Really love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Watch that show, very good. But yeah, it's good to see him back in the films. He dies on the film, comes back on TV. Dies on TV, comes back on... Don't want to spoil it. Crap. Let's ignore that happen. Yeah, but Phil Coulson, he was. I would have liked to see more of him in the film, but it's fine. We got enough. Nick Fury, yeah, it was just like that scene where Cavill's like asking him, asking him quick fire questions. He's answering it. That was just so blatantly exposition for the sake of it. They were trying to hide the fact that it was exposition, but it clearly was. But yeah, I like the chemistry between him and Brie Larson. I think it shows that I think they're really good friends now. I saw them in a chat talk show before the movie came out. They seem to be really best buds there. I think they're going to be in a Netflix film soon. So yeah, you can really tell the chemistry is really good, and it showed on film. It was very good. It was very entertaining to watch. It didn't really bore you off the scene. There wasn't really a time when the film was really boring you, which of course I think these days shouldn't be happening. If you're boring, if a superhero movie is boring you at this current like age of golden superhero movies, something's wrong. Something's very, very wrong. But something that did leave me a bit puzzled was I think at the start, in the space sequences, it didn't really feel like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, this is space. It just felt like space for the sake of space. Oh, we have to do this for Captain Marvel to come to Earth. Okay, let's just go through the motions. And it just felt like they're going through the motions. I don't think the directors were really used to that, or the writers. They just wanted to get to Earth as soon as possible. But they did spend a substantial amount in space, so it wasn't that bad. And the space stuff at the end, with the Kree, of course the leader being Kree, what's it called? Jude Law's character, I can't remember his name. I don't know, I'm not going to say that's a negative against the movie, because my memory is not the best, and it's been a couple of weeks, a lot more than a couple of weeks since I should have reviewed this movie. But at the start, it's really like with their first Carol Danvers' Kree gang mission to go and, of course, apprehend the Skrulls. It's just too foggy. It was just, I couldn't see anything. It was difficult to see what was going on. But of course, I think the gadgets of the other Kree members were helping to distinguish what was going on. But in the end of the day, it was just like the sets. It just didn't feel. It didn't feel like a it didn't feel like they put as much budget in that as well, as opposed to the bright daylight in the Earth scenes. Because I was watching a review before watching the movie. It was like, oh, some of the scenes just are going to be hard to look at. It was like, that's a mad criticism to make. The rest of the review was fine, but it was like, oh, that's interesting. Of course, you're not supposed to like, think of reviews as you go into watching a movie. But when you watch the movie, you can be like, oh, I can't. It's difficult to see what's going on. Don't know if that's my eyesight, but another person made this point in the review, so I guess I can see where they're coming from now. It's a bit hard to see, but that's technically a nitpick, just stretching it a bit. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the gist of it. Post-credit scene, Avengers Endgame trailer, and Avengers Endgame clip. Obviously, that's cool. It's gonna be interesting to see how she explains how she's not been here for a long time. I like the new costume change with the golden pads. That's good. Very good, very good. Of course, the last credit scene was Goose the cat. It turns out the Tesseract was in her mouth and she popped it out. So yeah, yes, that was funny. But I tell you what else was funny was how Nick Fury got his eye scratched. Like, he lost his eye like that. That Winter Soldier scene, man, it's just gonna be a bit ruined now. It's like, it wasn't as serious as you make out. I think that really, of course, it's a funny joke. Once again, it's a funny joke when you're watching it, but when you look back, it's like, come on, you could have done better than that. Nick Fury deserves better than that, and you don't really see something that will really harden him as the movie goes on. Okay, he looks hot by the end of the movie. He looks like he's been through a lot. Of course, he's discovered what aliens are and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel like. I feel like it's like I think it went too quick, the change from him being just a regular Joe ready to quit his job to like a really stoic man ready to do what's necessary, but didn't call Captain Marvel when the time was right. Just about took 20 years to call Captain Marvel, I guess. But it's fine, it's good, it's all good. So overall, I'll give this movie like a 3 stars out of 5, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Yeah, maybe it'll grow on me, but it's like Captain America: The First Avenger. Hopefully, the Russo brothers maybe they could do a standalone second sequel in modern era or in between the time frame. But I don't think they should do that. I think they should just skip over the modern times, like they did with Captain America. Like Captain America: The First Avenger, Captain America, you see glimpses of the greatness that the character can reside in, but it's not really. The storyline's not being challenged. The character's not being challenged enough. It's not. If you know what I mean, it's not going to that extra level, which I think they can go. Of course, with Captain Marvel, she's very overpowered person. I just want to see her struggle with the power she has, because she doesn't seem to be much of a struggle, not really. Yeah, so hopefully in Avengers you see more complexity there, and also in sequels. This movie should have had more of that, but it wasn't a disaster, was it? It was a good movie. It was an alright movie. Okay, but of course people expect loads of Marvel now, every movie. Of course, some people just dislike Marvel for other people saying it's a major success. It's like people, you know what I mean? It's like that. It's always like that on social media. It's like, okay, you're overhyping this too much and stuff like that. But yeah, these are just my thoughts. This probably isn't my best discussion of a movie, to be frankly honest, because it's been a couple of weeks, too many weeks since I watched the movie. I'll try my best to not do that again. Sorry guys for that random cut. I just got my food. So with that said, let me know your thoughts on the movie down below. If you dislike my thoughts, if you disagree, go and tell me why. I'm always looking to discuss with other people. I've only watched the movie once, so maybe that sort of thing changes opinions and stuff like that. Yeah, but be sure to check out my videos coming soon. Shazam review coming up, Punisher review, and Ant-Man and Infinity War retrospective videos. So, yeah, so much more to explore, and I really hope you are there for the ride. It's gonna be a mad couple of months, but this channel's gonna be here for the longer, for the endgame. See you guys later. Bye. Thank you for watching.